which also tend to strengthen our cyber security apparatus to combat rising cyber threats in the country. Just of recent, I was told that one of the agencies of government compromised with it yesterday or 2 days ago. This is just to tell you the kind of threat that internationally agencies and establishments are facing from people of the black world. And bringing this amendment at this material time is a very good one. It will help to significantly, if not eliminate, all forms of cyber crimes in the country. Again, another bill that is of great importance to me and significance is the Judicial Office Holders' Salaries and Allowances Bill, which ensures that fair compensation for judicial officers are made to uphold independence and efficiency. You will all agree with me that judges that are not well taken care of are in danger of being compromised. And the last bastion of people in every society is the judiciary. Where you don't have an effective judiciary, you may not have a nation. So this bill is of great importance, and we're very pleased to be associated with the improvement in the salaries, allowances, and welfare packages of our judicial officers in the country. Again, another bill that to me is also of great importance is the Traditional Complementary and Alternative Medicine Council Bill, which seeks to give us an alternative to the orthodox medicine and provide a better platform for traditional medicine practitioners to have standards of which they can operate. What we have earlier than that is that anything goes. No dosage, no prescription at the right quantity. Everyone says what he wants. At the end of the day, in an attempt to cure, you endanger your life the more. So this bill is also of great importance to this country, and I'm sure Nigerians have started reaping the benefits of that. Again, another bill that is of great importance are the zonal development commissions, which already Mr. President has assented to two. That's the Northeast Development Commission Bill, Act now, and the Southeast Development Act. Other four bills are already at the final stage of ascension, and they are the South-South, the Southwest, the North-Central, and the North-Central Development Bills. These bills are of great significance to this country, because if the four others are signed into law, this country will have a significant boost, particularly in providing infrastructure across the country and also stemming the threat of insecurity and other vices. So in summary, those are the ones that come to my mind, but I believe if you ask some of my colleagues here, they may speak differently from what I said. But to me, these are the ones that I can say are of more significance to me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. My microphone is working. Well, thank you for those that you have spoken to. You know me, I'm very, very passionate about medicine and health sector, like the fact that the alternative medicine is also very important. Outside the fact that states of economic advantage the country. China has that. But let's settle this, and I know that Prof. my co-moderator is eager to ask the next speaker. I think you build out some. Maybe we will go back to him. Yes.
Well, yes, the cybercrime element. You see, I imagine that every bill is important. Otherwise, the House will not pass it. But sometimes, even in that list of 100 bills that are very important, there are some of the bills. Some House members, some citizens, some sponsors will find, oh, this my bill has gone. The one on cyber security is of phenomenal importance because we now live in a world where cyber criminality can cripple a nation. The one on the judiciary, I think the increment by the House was by 300% of the entitlements. I recall that. I recall the excitement among some members of the profession that I knew. And just like you said, the one on health, we have health products, traditional health products, which work, but which without standardization will be described as quackery. And is a measure of a sense of responsibility of our representatives that for them, this leader should be guided by laws and put on the table, because for three reasons, if you ask me. One, the health benefit. Two, the possibility of massive, if you like, inflows of funds, because China, if you look at the percentage of what China makes from traditional medicine, you'll wonder. So yeah, those points are on the table from him, and I believe perhaps I should now move on to the leader, to the House leader with another question.
Yes.
Okay.
Leader, is there something that you missed out of your initial welcome address that you'd just like to speak to us about? That?
No, I might just fire the question.
Fire the question, please.
Oversight function is in the news, is everywhere, sort of what makes our representative travel to many places. And the question there is simple. How has the House ensured effective oversight of critical national issues, singling out two in particular, security and economic stability? Oversight function as a whole, its benefit to the nation, how the House has effectively carried this out in specific areas, and, just to the point.
Thank you very much. As you probably know, oversight is one of the major responsibilities that we undertake as legislators. And because Mr. Speaker has carefully selected the leadership of the relevant committee, as well as the membership, it has been come a very exciting exercise in having people go out there, prepare themselves before going out and oversight. That is critical. You have to know what exactly you are going to do. And we have an oversight manual in the House that sets out very, very clearly the steps to be undertaken. Get relevant information before heading out on an oversight visit. And on getting to the site, there is also a guideline on how to perform the oversight. The results of your oversight will be presented to the House on your report. And I believe this has been going on very, very well. As I said in my address, we've had over 107 of such visits, and several of these have been on issues of economic stability, institutional consolidation, and security. We invite some of the leaderships in the MDA, the ministries, departments, and agencies, to the House for a conversation, and that can be a form of oversight. But more importantly, we go out to see what the money we appropriated has been used for. You visit, you match the projects against the appropriation to be sure it has not been changed in between. And the essential thing is to ensure that we're getting value for money. And I think this has helped to create, to solve the issues of corruption, the issue of dislocation of projects, the issue of poor quality work, and the issue of contractors that have abandoned their respective assignments. In terms of security, as you know, members have visited different security agencies and installations in the country, essentially to ensure that the officers in charge are utilizing funds. We've increased budgets, the last budget of 4 trillion naira. This current budget, the 2025, the president has proposed even an increase in security because it affects every sector. When there's no security, agriculture suffers, education suffers, public service suffers, tourism suffers, investment suffers. And for the House, we have a focused approach to ensuring that every oversight visit is targeted at solving the problem, in addition to ensuring that we get value for money and there is not waste and corruption and misplaced priorities. I would also add that, yes, there have been problems in some areas. When I was chairman basic education, there were states I couldn't visit. And some governors will tell us, I can't guarantee your security, please don't come here to come and visit the schools. So the security situation, as you can see, dovetails into education and creates problems in the efficiency of performance of our legislative responsibilities. So I will leave it there for now. We'll come back to it.
From what you said, yes, it's going on, but even in cases where it couldn't take place, it's not for lack of willingness, desire, or determination, but for either logistical or security problems. Moji?
I'd just like to throw this back to an interactive session. We've heard from the Right Honourable Speaker, we've heard from the leader. A little bit from... Yes. Go ahead, please.
Okay, there was a question for the Deputy Speaker.
For the Deputy Speaker,
Yeah.
Okay, let's take that.
Yeah, so
because he's looking at me. So, yes. So let's take that.
Yeah.
There's a question that I would really want to ask. I would have wanted the Honourable Speaker to speak to me about gender equality. But yes, where are we with gender equality? Because, I mean, look at the table here. Just one woman. Do you agree with me, people? Yes. Thank you. Quickly, sir. Before we do your deputy.
I think Nigerians generally that I'm a strong he for she.
We do that.
We have demonstrated that in several ways. And our major concern is the low numbers of women in the parliament. And this 10th assembly happened to be one of the lowest, with only about 16 women in the parliament. And that shows that instead of all going up, we are really going down. And we have instituted a lot of activities and programs in ensuring that the 11th Assembly will be a different one. We are doing a lot of advocacy work. We are doing a lot of lobbying with our members both at the federal level and the subnational levels, trying to pass that message across that enough is enough. The time has come when women should be given their rightful place. And I sincerely believe, that at the end, when we come for the constitutional referendum, we should be able this time around to be able to pass all those bills that are gender-related for the country to move forward.
Very exciting moment, yes.
Notice you're really smiling.
I am.
Finally, able to control yourself.
Yes.
With good reasons.
Yes, with good reasons.
With good reasons. 2 points to note.
Okay. So you take the next question.
Before the question, the dwindling numbers, of course, we run a patriarchal system. The attitude of us as a people is not about Nigeria. The tendency to assume that the other gender is of a slightly different pedigree, which is a mistake. You can't build an aeroplane with 3 engines and fly it with one and have a good flight.
No way.
So it's for conversations to go down to that level. National Orientation Agency, leaders in their constituency offices about a change. Because at the end of the day, let me see the man who came into the world without a mother. Let me see the man who looks at the mother with contempt. So let us also remember who could trust them so completely. They've always been on our side.
Thank you. Prof is a converted and have always been a he for she. You come from a home where your mother is a domestic science teacher. You see how they come.
See how people go around spreading news? That's not on the bulletin.
Next question.
Deputy Speaker.
Deputy, yes.
Security is a major national crisis. There's been a lot of talk about policing and all of that. And my question to the Deputy Speaker is simple and straightforward. Are there plans to pass new laws addressing state and community policing, especially in the light of possible decisions by the state governors? We see the governors out saying we are for it. So we just need to know the extent of the amount of thinking going into that from the House of Representatives.
Much. Let me say good evening to Nigerians, starting from those who are in this hall for this interactive section. Yes, state policing is one of the thematic areas in our constitution now review process that the executives align with the legislature. We've noticed that out of the 36 states in the country, including the FCT, most of the governors are in sync with the legislature on the need to improve on the security of our people. And as you know, the primary purpose of government is to protect lives and properties and to ensure the welfare of our citizens. And so it's on the front burner, the issues that we handle in the parliament. Every other thing will fail if the foundation, which is supposed to be on peace and security and welfare of our people and unity, is missing. Therefore, the House, in our legislative agenda, have prioritized the issue of security. And based on that, we decided in April, just not too long ago, to have a national dialogue on pathway to peace, re-imaging policing in Nigeria. That was the theme of that engagement. And it gave us the opportunity of gathering experts and scholars into a room and the public to look at what is happening within that space, how do they want us to tailor it to reflect the desires of Nigerians. That engagement, that national dialogue was a productive one, and the participation was robust. Beyond that, we also recently, I think it was in November, second week of November, had another engagement we call the technical section, where we brought in heads of security agencies across the country to look at the possibility of reviewing overlapping legislations that has affected the efficiency of their operations across board. And we were able to see one or two areas to, work on so as through synergy we can achieve more. Through collaboration between the security agencies, we'll be able to achieve more. And beyond that, to show that with the support of development partners, sent some of our members from the House to Germany to look at how they have succeeded with their state police in their country. And those ones we sent to Germany, they are back. And they are working well with our technical sections, especially with the constitutional review, because state policing is one of the thematic areas for our constitutional amendments. And we want to make an informed decision with regards to that space. And so the feedback that we've gotten from participants' observation, by going to Germany, spending time with them, knowing where they failed, how they succeeded, is going to inform the direction we go. So that the document that will come out at the end of the day will be a document that is based on research, comparative analysis, the input of Nigerians, and those who have tried in those areas and succeeded. I'm still talking about security. When my boss, the speaker, was speaking, he was mentioning certain legislations that are significant. And one of the ones that comes to mind, in addition to what he has done, is this control of small arms and light weapons bill. And the aim of that bill is to curb illegal arms proliferation. in the country. So when you talk about security, there is nothing in the space to guide the small arms notification. I mean, they are placing something on nothing and expecting it to exist, and it will not exist. Another one that comes to mind also is the Armed Forces Act Amendment bill, which enhances military professional standards. You know, at all times, the world, changes, is dynamic. So we look at reality, best global practices, and see how we can, through our laws, put those standards in place to guide the operationalization of the armed forces mandate. And also beyond that, I'm sure he mentioned it in passing, but we have also done something in the space of cyber security legislation, which has been improved to address modern threats. Because the threats of yesterday and the threats of today are not the same. And we also be futuristic about the threats that will come tomorrow. And therefore, we must, in view of what is happening now and what we suspect is going to happen tomorrow, have a legislative intention that will curb that. So through laws, we know that wars and violence have gone beyond physical. It has gone to cyber. And making laws that will be able to guide our cyberspace is also good. Beyond that, let me also mention that in the wisdom of the speaker, he has also, adopted an engagement that took place a couple of weeks ago, which has to do with non-kinetic strategies. In Southeast, I've been preaching non-kinetic approach to resolution of conflict there. The military, they are involved, adopting it, the police and all the armed forces. And the speaker said the House needs also to add our voice to that. And it was a robust engagement, which, international exchanges with German parliament, and all the rest of them, workshops on innovation solutions around that space was also very instrumental in the discussion. So that's what we have done in the security space, and I'm sure others will add to that.
Okay, yes, Mr. Speaker.
Additionally, it will be of interest to the general public to know that because of the importance we accord to security, we decided just not quite 2 weeks ago, created or established a special committee on peace building and social cohesion. It is in line with our legislative agenda and part of the security aspects of our agenda to ensure that when we are talking about crimes, we should also come up with institutional mechanisms that will ensure that we have a committee that will be dedicated on peace building and social cohesion. And additionally, out of all the bills that the leader of the House mentioned, it will interest the general public to know that 25% of the bills so far sponsored by members of the House are security related. And 27% of the over 600 motions that we deliberated upon were all related to security. That wants to tell you how serious, how committed the 10th Assembly is on issues of security.
Thank you. Just very quickly so that we close on this. Because community policing is one thing, the military is another. A soldier is trained to take out a target that's known. Today, that target is embedded in many communities. It's become asymmetrical. Therefore, only community policing. Only people in a place know those who are their strangers, know somebody who wasn't there 6 months ago, and that's why we must support and commend the House and demand that this traction should only be pushed further. It is community policing on which everything lies, but bringing in the military will be for backup. So let's give the House a round of applause for the support in this regard, please.
Well, security is an imperative for investment, for life, for whatever. So we thank the House, for the seriousness attached to it. I would want to go to.
Naturally.
Yes, I would want an interactive session. We did say, and it's about time that let's hear Nigerians speak, because after all, we elected them.
Yes.
So an opportunity for citizens' engagement. Let's hear from Nigeria. Right. I recognize the representative of the Sultan. No? Oh, of Zazzau. Well, what I would just want to say is that because I'm blind to everyone. You have maximum of 1 minute to articulate your question or your submission, and please introduce yourself because I don't here. Thank you. Yes, sir.
My question here is, you know, the Vice
As a position on traditional institutions.
Yeah.
Question noted.
Is that it?
I believe you have me.
Yes, yes.
Thank you. Would you want to answer directly or you want to take it as it? Okay.
Jake, yeah?
My name is Mukhtar Ibrahim German Zazzau, and special advisor to the Kaduna State Governor on Chieftaincy. I'm here to represent the Emir of Zazzau.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My question here is, Right Honorable Sir, what are the position of the traditional institute in Nigeria, please? I know you are championing it, but what are the position now, sir? Thank you.
Next. Who is? Yeah? Representative of the foundation, yeah?
Thank you. Honorable Speaker, Right Honorable Speaker, the Deputy Speaker, and all the very important leadership of the House. Tonight I'm a little bit sad because
I would want us to go straight to the question.
I will.
Please, my brother.
There is a missed opportunity. About 3 million Nigerians who are listening, who are watching you, are not hearing you. And it's very sad that we don't have a sign language interpreter.
Thank you. Noted, sir. Noted.
So my question is simple. What are the House goals, timelines, and strategy for enhancing representation of persons with disability in the elected position? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please, you can only take the microphone when I recognize who to ask the question. Yes, thank you, ma'am. Yes.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Lami Tumaka. My question is, what policies have been enacted to what policies have been enacted to improve?
You came very prepared.
To improve healthcare services across the country.
Thank you very much. Can we take those three? And
No, let's just.
More.
Yeah, let's just about
All right.
2-3 more.
I recognize the newly installed NUJ president. Here, I can recognize him from here.
Thank you, the Honorable Speaker, distinguished colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Alassane Yaya. I'm the NUJ President. I have one question and one suggestion. What are the process has the House made on the constitutional review process, and how is the House strengthening Nigerian democratic institution and electoral laws? And my suggestion is on in 2025. I am hopeful that we are going to prioritize, the bill that is going to prioritize is a bill that is going to be of a media enhancement bill, a bill that is going to talk towards improving remuneration for the fourth extent of the real. It is one profession that is neglected in Nigeria, and it is hopeful that in 2025, it is our prayer that the House will come up with such bill whereby salaries and wages or allowances of Nigerian journalists is going to be considered. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I want a young person.
A young person.
A young voice.
Come forward to the person behind the president who just spoke.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. All protocols duly observed. My name is Isabel Anani, and I wanted to ask, so far, what bills and what policies has the House put in place to ensure that children's rights are put in front and center, especially since most times in rural areas, these are foreign concepts and things that are not talked about. So what has the House done this year, and what is the House planning to do next year to ensure that maternal and children health rights are protected, even in rural areas? Thank you.
Thank you. Another young person, before we come forward to the gentleman behind the NUJ president who is in blue.
Good evening. Standing on all existing protocol, my name is Adesonya Toluwalashe, and my question is, what is the House doing, or what has the House done in order to properly and adequately address the issue of domestic violence against women and children? Because it has been a plague that has been destroying the lives of way too many Nigerian women and children for too many years. So what is the House doing, and what do they plan on doing to address this issue? Thank you.
So we'll take this set.
Yes, I think we can take this set now. Yes. Over to the House. Several questions on several variants of human endeavor that have been asked. Would you want to start, sir? All right, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Let me take the first one. The question was on the position of the House on issues on the issue of traditional institutions. My dear I visited the palace of the Emir at the inception of my camp, key camp, and I gave him a commitment that we will come back to the House, persuade all members to see the reason why they should, traditional institutions should have a role in the next dispensation. And to God be the glory. Today, I want to assure you that we are covering a lot of milestones. We have created a committee on traditional institutions for the very first time in the Parliament. And the committee, so that we give it a national coverage. And the committee has been going around engaging with traditional institutions and engaging with even subnationals, trying to sell the idea of how we can be able to create a niche where the traditional institutions can be able to play a role in the next dispensation. And we have had a lot of interactions even here within the National Assembly, where the traditional institutions were invited, and they came and contributed, and they submitted a lot of memorandum and documents in support of creating a constitutional role for them. So we are on the right track, and I believe by the time we come to the level of the memorandum, a lot of support would have been generated for it to actually pass both the level of the National Assembly and the state assemblies as well.
Any question any of us would prefer to take among those leaders? Yes, please.
The issue raised by Brother Jake. Firstly, let me very sincerely apologize, but you recall that the 10th Assembly is the first to introduce sign language during parliamentary sitting. We have somebody who does that. He was supposed to be here this night, and you will also observe that we started slightly late. We are trying to wait to see if he could come, but he's unable to make it. So it's not that intentionally we did not get a sign language person to be part of this ceremony. We do it in chambers, and I can say that the 10th Assembly is the first to start. And then to also assure you, even in our budget this year, incidentally, I'm chairman of that subcommittee that is going around to look at the entire House of Representatives, to look at areas where we need to cause some amendments to be friendly to persons with disability, including our lobbies, toilets, offices, stage, and all that. So that is being considered by the House. We are not unfriendly at all to persons with disability. Thank you.
And additionally, For the very first time, the 10th Assembly has seen it expeditious to appoint an SA for disabilities. We have a senior advisor disability to the Speaker. And we also have 3 other special senior legislative aides working along with him. And the 2025 budget that we are about to start deliberating on, we already have a proposal where the whole entire National Assembly will become disability friendly, providing platform for
The House, took it up long ago, what society of the group to prioritize bills that the fact of 2 bills, one on sexual harassment of institutions and institutions, which are both brought to the State for concurrence, and we have one on gender-based violence specifically. And these have also gone up to the Senate. But beyond that, we are also of the view in the House that it is through education and that you enlighten people to the extent that they begin to respect each other. I think a lot of the bills and motions you see in the House have to do with one side of economic empowerment and everything.
Thank you very much. Any
other reaction?
Oh yes, the issue with child rights and all that. The current assembly, in the wisdom of the Speaker, has prioritized the issue as relates to human rights and law reform, which is on the child rights. And again, it should be noted that that element is also a shared obligation with the State Assembly. Most states have made laws on the Child Rights Act or child rights law at the state level to assist young persons, especially those within the age bracket of children, so they can be protected from violence and their rights can be guaranteed as enshrined in the Constitution. And again, even the Constitutional Reforms Committee is also looking at those issues that affect children directly.
Well, let me say something on the child rights as well as the gender-related violence. In addition to what my colleagues have said, with regard to the Child Rights Act, the law that we have in that space is strong. What is our major concern is the domestication of these laws in our various states. Over the years, we have found out that the parliament at the federal level will make good laws. But when we carry out our post-legislative scrutiny, the result always comes up that implementation of these, they are not giving wheels by the states. Say, for example, we unbundled power from the exclusive list. The same thing with child gender-based violence into a civic gender-based violence into a civic education curriculum in the schools, secondary schools in Nigeria. And beyond that, we also passed another one, which we also, through the advocacy support development partners, we passed what we call the Anti-Sexual Harassment in Tertiary Education Institutions Bill. And the bill was enacted to promote and uphold ethical standards in tertiary education, guide the students. Our constitution is that the House is allowed to amend the constitution. The Senate and the House as National Assembly are energized by the mandate of the constitution to amend the constitution. And the process is once the committee set up, go into engagement with the public. And what we have done severally has been to have sort of town hall or sectorial engagement. We've done that on local government, we've done that with the youth, we've done that with the women, we've done that on state police, and all the thematic areas, we pick them one by one, and we gather stakeholders, because we have a list we call the stakeholders engagement list. We'll come into a room, we'll talk about it. But beyond that, will also lobby the parliament at the state level by making sure they are involved in the process, because by the nature of the constitution, we cannot pass the amendments of the constitution on our own. It's the input of the House of Assembly and the state. So we brought them in at the earlier stage to make sure that they are part and parcel of what we are doing. So what is going to happen now, where we are now with our memoranda, we have analyzed them into thematic areas. We have also engaged the House of Assembly, part of our committee. We are now proceeding to do town hall meetings that will go into the geopolitical zones across the country. So we have selected 2 locations in each of the geopolitical zones to come and engage with the public, which means to come to a geopolitical zone, 2 states. We'll come to state 1, we have about 3 states there, come together to engage. We'll have their opinion. After that, we'll go back to the House, work on that. In order to give you that element, the preamble of the Constitution said, we, the people of Nigeria, we don't want to just sit here and dump the documents on you. So it's through various engagement that we'll be able to get that. After that, it will go back to the House for voting. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I please would like to plead that we have such a limited time, particularly on live television. Our time is going so fast.
Sorry, Moji. Yes. Because this is now some national government. And you know that 2 years ago, there was
I'm going to give you only 10 seconds to
you are just taking up the 10 seconds.
No,
so now
go ahead.
No. You know there was a people summit.
Yes, I recognize you. Please, when I recognize you, can you be upstanding? The man in blue, the woman with the freedom hair. Yes, the woman with the short hair. Yes, and the youth here, and of course the gentleman with the gray hair. He's the only one that is, exhibiting the gray hair. Yes, sir.
That's the NIPR president.
Yes, the president of NIPR. That's my president, by the way, sir. So I need to recognize it to make him speak as well. Please make this fast.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Ahmad Sajo. I'm a fellow of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, even though my president is here. Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker and the leadership, for allowing us citizens to oversight you as you oversight the executive. Now, the question I have is that, the bedrock of every development in a nation, the foundation is infrastructure. We've had this infrastructure deficit for too long. Roads, power, and housing. How does the 10th Assembly plan to ensure appropriate oversight to give the Nigerian people, to reduce the infrastructure deficit to a level that the Nigerian people would be comfortable with roads, power, and housing?
Thank you.
How do you ensure value for money?
Thank you. Can I go straight to yes, thank you. Okay. Can we have your question, please?
Thank you. My name is Grace Ike, Chairman, NUGFCT. My question is on the economy. What legislative measures have been put in place to stabilize the economy, control inflation? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can I have just a moment? The man in the gray hair that we have here. Sorry, gray hair. Yes, I insist. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. 2 quick things. First, to commend Mr. Speaker and his team for this laudable initiative. As a PR person, what is important to me is to what extent you engage with the citizens. So please assure us that this is not one and that's it. That you are coming back to engage with us. The leader of the House alluded to it. Minority leader said so. How do we ensure that you have a strategic plan to continue with this wonderful initiative? We look forward to coming back here in 2025.
Thank you very much. I'd like the youth now. Yes.
My name is Abdul Samad Kiari, and my question is: how has the House ensured increased public funding for public schools, for public education?
Increase public funding for
increase public
right?
funding for public institutions. Yes. Can I please just go back to the crowd and the audience? You need to be quiet so that you can have one house. One house. One house, please.
Very quickly.
Yeah, quickly, please.
Thank you very much, the Speaker, Deputy Speaker, and invited guests. My name is Aziza Dishao, the Speaker of the Nigerian Youth Parliament. So I'll go straight to the point, sir.
Okay, Speaker, ask him to speak. Okay.
No apologies again, sir. According to data available, we know that we have a very large number of vibrant labor force filled with young people between the age of 15 and 29. And recent events have also shown that young people are not readily or effectively engaged. So my question to the House is, how is the People's House ensuring that the project allocation addresses the issue of underemployment or unemployment among young people, access to education and skill development? Thank you.
Next, please. Next, please, quickly.
Good evening, Speaker, Deputy Speaker, distinguished guests. My name is Ehosa Ero from the National Talent Export Program. My question is, how is the House supporting job creation, creating employment, and also enabling the environment for service exports?
There's a young lady behind you. Yes. Directly, please, can you take the microphone back? Here. Take the microphone back. Thank you.
The Right Honorable Speaker, the Deputy Speaker, my name is Kemi Yusufu. I'm representing the Guild of Corporate Online Publishers. My question is for the Majority Leader, Professor Julius Yonberry, and it borders on the issue of separation of powers. And it seems that the National Assembly, especially in the 9th and 10th Assembly, has struggled with the reputation of being a rubber stamp legislature. So would you also consider the 10th House? Is it right for me as a journalist and observer from outside to describe the 10th House as a rubber stamp house? Thank you.
Gentleman behind you, yes, please. Ijoke, right behind you, right behind you, right behind you. The sun has been up for a while.
My name is Emmanuel Babole. We have a college in Nigeria now called Japan. And the bedrock of every nation is the youth. And they are busy Japan everything. And that's a dangerous signal. So my question has to do with what steps have you been taking to ensure that the youth participate in governance and policy making?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Point made.
Thank you very much. I want to come back to this side of the hall here for your answers to some of the questions raised, and to say to us that we have less than 30 minutes to stay live on television. So, and there are still more questions. So over to you, sir.
Let me kickstart the answering of the questions, beginning with the first question asked on infrastructural deficit. What is the House doing about it? First and foremost, I want our audience to know that 19% of all the entire motions sponsored in 2024, January to December, were largely on infrastructure. 11% of all the entire bills sponsored by members in 2024 are also infrastructure related. That goes to show you the concern the House have on issue of infrastructure in this country. But beyond that, we all know, we are a legislature. We have limits to what we can do. We can come with the best legislation. But implementation could be another thing. 2 days ago, I made a statement during my closing remark when Mr. President visited us. This is a country where our budget is extremely low compared to our needs. We have more than 1,000 agencies. And the total budget, if you look at it, you find that it does not satisfy up to 20% of the requirements of each and every agency we have in this country. So for us to be able to have better infrastructures, we need to expand our revenue base. That is the number one area where we most have to work on. Unless we have enough revenue we cannot be able to go for building our infrastructure the way it would want. I don't know whether any member will have any addition to this particular.
Yes, I think
the lady, please.
The lady, please.
Well, thank you very much. I would like to digress more on the issue of gender inclusion. And that is because the audience are looking forward to more intervention by the People's House on gender inclusion. And balanced political participation and power sharing between men and women is an internationally agreed target in the Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action. And in line with that, I want to assure the audience that this House, under the leadership of the 10th Assembly, is equaling a resounding democracy towards that. One of those things is that even the 2021 Gender Equality Bill, which has not seen the light of the day, has been revisited, and the Constitutional Review Committee, which I'm also a member, is actively engaging all stakeholders that are relevant to ensure that it sees the light of the day this time around. You should believe that it is not very easy to live among equals, but the Right Honourable Speaker has navigated his ways that at this particular stage, the chairman of the Constitutional Review Committee, who is the Deputy Speaker, is here, that almost 80% of members are not averse to passing the bill. But notwithstanding, we have not related in our pursuit to lobby, we have had a lot of advocacies about 10 engagements with different international partners, civil society organizations, and other level partners. And this is all in an effort to ensure and the belief the House has that when there are greater participation of women in Parliament, there is quality representation, quality democracy, there is accountability. And again, more so, you could see that in Africa, Nigeria is the giant of Africa, that is the saying goes. But if you look at the whole of Africa, starting from Rwanda, who has about 69% of women as a result of the quota system, going down to Tanzania, 50%, Uganda, Zimbabwe, all the African countries, South Africa, South Sudan has been maintaining the proportional representation for decades. And equally, even in the smaller countries like Seychelles, Mauritius, Nigeria is the only country that has less than 10% representation of women. All others from 30, 50, 60, and 10%. And Mr. Speaker is someone that has been very familiar with parliamentary democracy, and he has participated in a lot of parliamentary organizations, and as a matter of that, he has taken
I hate to stop the woman, but I know your passion, and I'm sure.
Very simply, there is three things that I want to
Yes, ma'am. You need to round up.
Yes, there are three things I want you to know that this House is doing. One is the Articles House is working on advanced legislative drafting, because we are complaining that we don't even want to see issues of disparity even in the bills where you said he or she in the Constitution. We want a neutral how you address. For instance, if you say Mr. Speaker, you can say Madam Speaker, Speaker is Speaker, the Senate President, we are okay with that. But not when you are addressing he that in the Constitution, and these are all issues. And another thing is that the issue of gender-sensitive budgeting. Mr. Speaker has put it as a policy that any appropriation, any bill that is coming to the House going forward must pass through the gender test before it reaches the chamber. So meaning that whatever we agree, this House is very, very conscious of the gender aspect. Thank you.
Thank you very much, because you know,
we have to read now.
Yes, please.
You want us to say something?
Yes, please. If you can be within 2 minutes.
2 minutes on infrastructure.
You haven't spoken.
One of the things done in infrastructure is that the House, under the leadership of the Speaker, we have moved for the establishment of regional development commissions so that development can trickle down to the grassroots. Dams of power, dams of infrastructure, dams of technology, dams of agricultural support, and all the rest of them. And Mr. President has partnered with the Parliament in approving those, assenting to those bills. So now we have Southwest, we have Southeast, we have Northeast, we have Northwest. We are hoping that South-South will follow suit as well as North-Central. So with that, infrastructure can go down to the grass.
Thank you very much, Speaker. Yes, I'd like you to come and do it.
Yes. Sorry, kindly adjust your mic. Yes, please.
Just to add Mr. Speaker, said about the infrastructure, the roads, the hospitals, the schools. I want to say that yes, these details are there, and the contribution of the members of the Parliament have really strengthened, or rather have improved some of these institutions through what we call zonal intervention of all the members, right from the Senate to the House of Reps. You know, this zonal intervention is an intervention that helps in the rehabilitation, construction of even hospitals, roads, schools, you know, mention them, trainings, acquisition of skills for the our young youth and women, and this has really helped. Yes.
Thank you so much. I know that the minority leader. Can you do it in 1 minute, sir?
Sure. Infrastructure, which is very important. We have insisted and persisted that for every budget that comes before us, the overhead cost must come down and capital must go up. And then starting with FCT that we legislate, and then the current budget, you can see the difference. This is one of the periods where we are beginning to experience higher capital provision than the current.
Yes. Yeah, if we are in Pakistan Parliament, why have we not passed the tax bill? In the House, we are not even done settling with it. The truth is that when we share a common passion, a common vision, a commitment and education to the betterment of Nigeria, you don't need to fight. You actually get more through mutual respect, negotiation and dialogue than insulting each other for the satisfaction of the leaders. So we are not a rubber stamp parliament. We cannot be.
I'll go back to the right honorable speaker.
Being a rubber stamp parliament rather than the minority.
Yeah, the minority. Very
now, just to add to that, I believe that what Nigerians expect to see is where we are fighting before the public on the floor of the parliament. But I want to say that yes, we disagree, we fight in-house and discuss issues properly at the executive session. Sometimes, if it is necessary, we exchange blows. But when we conclude with that, then we can come to parliament proper. Because today, we have 7 opposition parties as against what we used to know before now. So it's a special 10th assembly that you are seeing. What you're seeing outside that it appears everything is rosy, we disagree. And that's why the tax bill is still pending in the House.
Thank you so much. Right honorable speaker.
Somebody asked a question that we need to guarantee that this kind of engagement is not going to be a one-off thing. I want to assure you, my brother, that this same question was asked in July when we engaged the youth of the country. I promised them that every year we'll have 2 engagements at the middle of the year and at the end of the year. And to God be the glory. We delivered that promise just a week or so ago. And I want to assure you too, and assure the Nigerian people, that this kind of engagement will be taking place twice in a year. The choice of December for this program is deliberate because December marks half of our legislative year. By June next year, we should be wrapping up the whole legislative year. So we'll have more issues to discuss. Thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing you in the month of June 2025.
One moment, please. This is from Professor Konji. At a public event last Monday, the House leader told us that there are some elected members who have sent themselves from their seats, and he said, please do something about that so you don't tell us that again in public. That's very good advice. The other point, of course, from what the minority leader has said, he said that sometimes they fight, but it's not in public. So I suggest to anybody aspiring for elective office, please acquire some boxing sticks here. You just
Thank you very much. I've been informed that we have Honorable Philip Agese, Deputy House Spokesperson here. Before I go to our former leaders, can we please take the microphone to him, Honorable Philip? Yes. Please give him, yes, thank you so much. Yes. Make it short, sir.
Thank you very much, the Right Honorable Speaker, leader, distinguished honorable colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. I want to touch on two things earlier mentioned. First and foremost, I want to start with my immediate constituency, which is the question raised by the NUJ National President. As a parliament under the leadership of His Excellency Right Honorable Tajudeen, we are taking seriously